Hello, third grader. Hello, third graders. Today we're going to look at your writing, the letter that you wrote the last 2 days, and we're going to do a little bit more with it. Now, one thing that I want to talk about when we look at our letters that we wrote to people was just should it actually look like? So I don't even have to read your letter, and I will know, is it written as a good letter? To keep it very simple, it has to look basically like what you're looking at right now on this screen. You have to have the date in the top right-hand corner. So today's date, if you're watching this on Thursday, is May 7th, 2020. Then over on the left-hand side, you have to have what they call the greeting. So the greeting is dear whoever you're writing to, and then you have the comma right after that. Then we have the body of the letter. Again, I don't have to know if you have words spelled correctly or what exactly you said to somebody, but you should have sentences written in here that look kind of like this big rectangle. And then you have what we call the closing and your signature. The closing is a word that tells you, kind of, you might say your friend, greetings. Sincerely is probably the most popular one. Depending upon who you're writing to, this word will change. So since I wrote mine to my grandma, I put love because she's my grandma. And then you sign your name. Now, sometimes the love and the name I've seen over here, which is very popular. That's fine. That could be here, it could be here, or it could be moved over more towards the center. Okay, but in general, it has to look like this. You have your date, your greeting, your body, your signature, your closing, and then your signature laid out here. Okay, now of course, since I'm writing this to someone, this is supposed to be just kind of for fun. We have words spelled correctly. We use capital letters at the beginning of sentences. We use punctuation at the end. I mean, it looks like we know what we're doing is the plan. So please proofread your letter. Even have somebody at your house do it. I'm guessing mom or dad, big brother, big sister. I don't know if your dog can read. Have your dog read it for you. But do something to have someone double check it for you. Does this make sense? Now also, on a piece of paper to really make this look good, because you don't want to send something to someone that's all ugly looking. Let's make it look good. If you have lined paper, like a notebook piece of paper, there are red lines on each side. Now the left-hand line will be darker. That's the one you're going to kind of hug. We always say it's glued to the red line, except I always indent. On the right-hand side, we have a faded red line. The reason it's faded is because it's on the back side of the paper. But those are kind of like the lines on a road. We drive between them. We don't want to go outside of these lines. So notice none of my words are hanging over here in the margin. It's clean. Now over here, these circles, well, those are the holes in your paper. Let's make sure you're on the front of the paper. You don't have it upside down or something. Then you look kind of goofy too. So it's just making sure, without even reading your letters, does it look good? Okay, does it look good? Now, mine does not look great because when I typed it, I can't get it to fit nicely on the lines that are on the paper. But it's the best that I could get it. So obviously, since mine's typed, it's not going to be quite like yours. Okay, but again, double check. Date, top right-hand corner, glued to the faded red line at the end. Greeting, dear, whoever you're writing to, with a comma. Notice capital letter because it's their name or their title. Then we move down. Give a little space in there. We can't cram it up. We don't want that up there. We got to get this down further into its own section. Okay? Then you write your little letter to your grandma, to your friend, to your uncle, to whoever you're writing to. Once you get done, now if you do one sentence, you're being lazy. Come on. You don't even have to get up and leave the house in the morning. You can write at least, my daughter's in second grade. She's writing 8 sentences a day on some hers. Let's pick it up a little bit, all right, folks? So how about you write at least 4 sentences, if not more. Okay, then we have our closing of love, or your friend, or your daughter, or sincerely, comma, and then your name, your signature. Okay, so that's what you should already have done. However, I'm thinking there's a couple of you that maybe could write a little bit more or maybe fix some of it because it doesn't look quite right yet. Okay, now we're going to step 2, what we're actually doing new for today, but fix this if you need to. Okay, we're going to actually get it so we can mail it to somebody. Okay, so this is an envelope. Sorry, my dog's barking for a second, but this is an envelope that you're probably going to have to talk to somebody at home to see if they can find one. Now notice what I did is I put the stamp in the top right hand corner. Again, you might have to talk to somebody in the house about the stamps. Okay, put that always in the top right hand corner. Then there's two different parts to the envelope cover. We have who is it coming from. This is the sender's address, person sending the letter. And then this is the receiving address, or the person receiving the letter. Okay, so let's start up here. So this letter was coming from Adam Eichhoff, which is my name. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is put the person's name. Then below that, we're going to put the house number and the street. Now, if you don't know what your house number is, don't just say, I don't have a house number. Trust me, you have a house number. Again, you might have to ask somebody at home, you've got a house number. Okay? Some of you have it on the front of your house. Other people, I don't have it on my house because I live in the country. But you have it somewhere. Then the street name that you live on. So I live on County Road 10, Southeast. We won't get into the direction here, but lots of you, you're going to have a direction at the end of your street. Then the last thing you're going to need in the third line is going to be the city, the state, and then the zip code of that city. So I live in Chatfield, the state of Minnesota, and our zip code here is 55923. Okay? Now, that has to be your stuff. So again, if you don't know it, talk to somebody. You're going to have to write really small too, so you got to be careful. All right. Then we go down to who's receiving it. The nice part is you get a little bit more space for this. But again, it's going to be the 3 lines down below. First, again, we're going to have the person. Now, don't put person there. I'm just showing you this is the person. Okay? This is going to Grandma Emma. Then her address, 123 River Road, Southeast. Now, that's not actually her address, but that's what I'm just making up here for you for an example. House number is 123. What street is it? River Road, Southeast. Then we're getting into the city, the state, and the zip code. So we've got Goodrich is the state. Goodrich is the city, Minnesota is the state, and then the zip code, I just made up a 5-digit number. I don't actually know what Goodrich's zip code is right now. Okay, so again, we don't want those in there, but we're just kind of breaking down into the 3 lines, and we always have those lined up on the left-hand side. Okay, all right, once you get this all written out, I want you to take a picture of your envelope, even if you don't have the stamp on there yet, because you still have to get that from mom or dad. Once you have this out, take a picture of it and send it to me on Seesaw. And those people, I tell you, those people are going to love that you're sending them some mail. And you're sending them something during this time when we're all stuck in our own homes. Okay? All right, boys and girls, good luck. Watch this video as many times as you need to get that down.